Hello, Gemini. This is Carrie from Celestial Forecasts. Welcome to your bonus reading for the second half of June. General, as always, guys, it's not going to resonate with every single Gemini, so please do take from this reading whatever makes sense for you and release the rest. If you are interested in your own personal private reading, all of that information is down below in the description box, and I will include a link to all of the decks that you see here today, Gemini. So what I'm going to be focusing on for this bonus reading this time around is really taking a look at your connection from the divine feminine aspect as well as the divine masculine. So we're going to be starting off taking a look at how this connection is affecting the divine feminine. And for all intents and purposes of this reading, I will be referring to the divine feminine as her and she. I do understand that that could certainly be reversed. It could be for both female and male. So take it for how it resonates with you throughout the messages that are delivered here today. All right, so let's start. This is the Divine Feminine deck by Flames of Alchemy. We'll start with this one. So for Gemini, angels and spirit guides, please. How does the divine feminine feel about this connection? How is the connection affecting the feminine here? Angels and spirit guides, please. What do we need to know at this time? When it comes to the divine feminine, divine union. Okay? So the divine feminine is seeing this connection certainly as a divine union, but there's also this robotic energy attached to it. It's almost like my feminines might be just going through the motions for some reason of how things are going in this connection. We also have free spirit coming through here. So what I'm picking up from this is more than likely you guys are not together, especially if my feminines are wanting to be in this free spirit. Perhaps even though this is a very special connection between two people, there was something that was stifling my feminine's energy, going through the motions and not really tap too much into her heart space, I'm feeling. There are some challenges that I am picking up here. And then we've got the root chakra that is being represented, safety, stability, and security. So I do feel it's presenting itself here because there might be a bit of an imbalance in the root chakra. Perhaps my feminines didn't feel that they had the safety, stability, and security in this relationship. We have retreat also coming through, followed by another chakra card. This is the crown chakra, consciousness. So my feminines are definitely trying to work on finding balance, retreating from this divine connection to work on herself, to bring about healing. Look at this, we've got self-expression. There's a lot that my feminines need to express here, but perhaps, you know, when somebody's in that robotic energy, I just kind of feel that in the heart space for my feminines, it's just coming through with this very cold, mechanical type vibe. So even though our first card is divine union, I feel this is a union that's going through some challenges here. And so my feminines could have just taken a step back to work on herself. Yes, there's a lot that she wants to say to the masculine, but maybe right now is not the right time. So rather than trying to force an issue or trying to create movement in this connection, my feminines, I feel, are just working on themselves for now. That's what I'm picking up from that. So let's add to this with some tarot to clarify some of this stuff. This is the Palette deck by Salviadora of Eat, Read, Love. Angels and spirit guides for Gemini, for the divine feminine. What else do we need to know here when it comes to the connection with the divine masculine? We do have the Seven of Wands here. So some of you guys might be dealing with a fire sign. Leo, Aries, or Sagittarius. The Seven of Wands is somebody who's just trying to maintain control of a situation. It could also be competition. So my feminines perhaps are feeling the way they're feeling robotic, just taking a step back for now, because there might be somebody else who is vying for the masculine's attention. Whether my masculine is actually entertaining this other person, we're going to have to take a look at that with the divine masculine cards. But there's some sort of competition that's presenting itself here. And so what I'm feeling for my feminines is, rather than being in some sort of competition, my feminines decided to retreat and to back away from this. Even though my feminines clearly see that this has potential to turn into something beautiful. So my feminines definitely working on balance and healing, especially in the root chakra as well as the crown chakra area. We do have the Fool presenting itself here. So this is a fresh start. This is a new beginning here. Part of this new beginning for my feminines could be starting over, a fresh start in a different direction away from the divine feminine. I'm sorry, the divine masculine. This is taking a leap of faith and starting over. We do have the Three of Coins here, which is Pentacles, Earth energy, Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus. This is teamwork right here. This is collaboration. This is what my feminines are wanting from the masculine. So certainly if the masculine is actually able to step up to work with the divine feminine to bring about change and movement and move forward and take advantage of the energy of the Fool and take that leap of faith and start over, have a new beginning, and get rid of this competition and other people and third parties, then perhaps my feminine's heart space is going to soften and not be so robotic and be so cold towards the masculine. Because I really do feel here for my divine feminines, there's a lot that she wants to say to the masculine, but might be holding back for now. Or trying to just push those emotions down so she doesn't have to feel it. And then we've got the Two of Wands. So more fire coming through here, Gemini. The Two of Wands, someone's definitely interested. My feminines are definitely interested and attracted to the masculine. So there's a lot of planning that's going on here. My feminines are retreating, I feel, to really assess the situation, have some alone time, try to figure things out for herself. She definitely possesses skills to make her dreams come true with or without the masculine here. But of course, for those of you resonating with this, you would prefer to have a new beginning with your masculine. We do have the King of Wands. So we've got quite a bit of fire. We've got quite a few wands presenting itself here. So my King of Wands might want to put love on hold, still wanting to be out there exploring his options in love and romance. And that's why I've got a feminine here who has a robotic heart. Because I really feel here my divine feminine has so much love for the masculine, but she's had to harden her heart to protect herself, to prevent her heart from breaking any more than it already has. But look at this. We've got the Lover's card, which is Gemini energy. And then we have the Ten of Cups. So the attraction, the deep bond between the two of you, it's here. My feminines know this. But my feminines also know that there's a decision that needs to be made here in order to bring this Ten of Cups to fruition. Some of you might be focused on a water sign as well, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. There's a decision that needs to be made here when it comes to this partnership, and my divine feminines know this. Especially if you are feminine Gemini, you know that this is the time to make a decision one way or another. If you want a fresh start with your person, your masculine, or if you just want a new beginning on your own, to find a different direction for yourself. But for the majority, my feminines, I do feel what you're wanting here is to reconnect with the masculine and to not have any third parties, not to have any competition when it comes to this relationship. You want to be able to have this Ten of Cups and be happy and fulfilled, for things to fall into place when it comes to this partnership. So the desire for happiness, long-term happiness, is certainly here. This is the ultimate fulfillment. This is a dream coming true. And as I mentioned earlier, my feminines, you have the capability of making your dream come true. And one of those dreams is to be with your masculine. But I do feel for those of you who are tapped into this situation, you're just taking some time for yourself, taking a break from this, working on yourself, trying to find balance in your own life, healing your heart. So let's add to this. Let's go ahead and add to this. This is the first time I'm using this actually. It's the Moody Moon Messages deck, honoring the cycle of the divine feminine. This is by one of my soul sisters, Sister Moon Tarot. So let's go ahead and add to the messages here, Gemini, for my divine feminines. For the feminine, what else do we need to know when it comes to the divine feminine's journey and this connection? We have fantasizing, astral projecting, stuck in the 5D. Okay, so my feminine's definitely fantasizing about the masculine, because there's not a whole lot going on in the 3D. So some of you might relate to this in that you guys are just interacting in the fifth dimension, and it's a little bit more difficult to take it out of the 5D and bring it into reality, the 3D world. And so look at the next card. We've got daydreaming, stuck in my head. My feminines are stuck. There's this stuck energy from both of these cards. Fantasizing, daydreaming about the masculine. Look at this next card, longing, wishing you were here. So my divine feminines are definitely missing the masculine, despite everything that's happened here. Despite the masculine entering into third parties, despite the masculine entertaining other people. Whatever this competition represents. fantasizing, daydreaming, longing. This is where my divine feminines are at. But my feminines are also pissed off. That's our next card. This anger is consuming me, which is why, maybe this is why my feminines had to take a step back to just calm down, deal with the anger, heal from the anger, process it, go through it. Next message, unbridled, feeling free and untethered. You see, free spirit. So for some of my feminines, this is where you're at. You want to just be free. Especially if you feel stuck in a relationship where you could have been with a masculine that you love dearly. You have this great connection with the masculine, but if the masculine is cheating on you, if there's infidelity there, trust issues, dishonesty, you know, I really do feel for some of my feminines, you have detached. You have walked away. You backed away from this. And if your masculine wants to bring this into the 3D, they're going to have to make amends for what's happened here, especially if there are third-party involvements. And then we have connected, grounded, and spiritual. That's coming through for some of my feminines here. So if you resonate with this, if you happen to resonate with feminine energy, this is where you're at. This is how the journey is affecting you. And if you're masculine watching for a feminine, this is how they're being affected. You know, what I pick up from this is somebody who's so deeply in love with someone that has hurt them. And, you know, you're being torn into so many directions. There's a part of you that can't let go of the love. There's a part of you that can't process the love. And then there's the part of you that's so disappointed and hurt and really angry with how things played out. Knowing that you can have a new beginning here that you offer yourself, or that the connection itself has a chance to start over. But this is going to require the effort from two people. So the Lover's card, which is your own energy, Gemini, and then you've got the Ten of Cups right next to it. This is still possible to find happiness in the connection, but it definitely requires two people to get back onto the same page, to have the same vision, to put in the effort to actually make this work. You know, so, I mean, it's not impossible, but you guys need to get onto the same page, I feel. Let me move these guys up so you can see a little bit better. So let's go ahead and add to this with some romance angels. Angels and spirit guides for Gemini, focusing on the divine feminine and how this journey is affecting my feminines. How does the feminine see where this is going to go? That it is safe for her to love the masculine. Open your heart to give and receive the highest energy of all. I really feel for my feminines. You know, she's trying to do this, but might be apprehensive, might be afraid to open her heart fully. You know, so trying to not get hurt, of course, trying to protect her heart, which is why it's robotic for now. We have trust. The situation's calling for you to have faith. And I do feel that there have been some trust issues here when it comes to the connection with the masculine, which is why my feminines might be a little bit cold in the heart space here, a bit robotic. But the attraction, look at this, the attraction is still here. And my feminine's definitely knowing that she deserves love. And as you can see from this photo, and I've pointed this out in previous readings, that to me is an indication that my feminines possess Cupid's arrow here. And it's up to the feminines who will be on the receiving end of that arrow. Okay, so let's add to this with some dialogue messages here. This is my self-created deck. It's called the Woman's Intuition Oracle, and we're going to pull some dialogue from the feminine to the masculine. So clearly, I've got a feminine here who still has love for the masculine, but, you know, she's also upset. She's not happy. She's working on herself. Some of my feminines want to just be free from a connection that broke her heart, that hurt her. So much to say. All right, so let's grab a few from this deck and take what resonates, as always. It says, "You are my destiny, I am yours." All right, feminines. This was the first one. "You are my destiny, I am yours." "Being next to you, it makes me happy and so fucking horny." Okay, so there's this sexual connection that is certainly undeniable between the feminine and masculine when you guys are together. There's just this fiery, passionate energy between the two of you. Let's agree to disagree, or we can just have makeup sex. So I really feel here that you guys might have gotten into some arguments where you were just butting heads with each other. And you're not always going to agree with each other, but at the end of the day, if you love one another, you do have to just agree to disagree. And come to a point where you got to realize, you know, what's more important here? To win an argument, or for the relationship to maintain its integrity and for you guys to just work on the partnership and be together? Hey, handsome. So we have attraction here, and I really do feel for my feminines resonating with this. You're definitely attracted to your masculine. You find him to be very handsome, very attractive. But it goes way deeper than that, because there's love here. It's just that my feminines are protecting their heart space so that they end up not getting hurt. And the last card, look at this. Twin souls reunite. This is ultimately what my divine feminine is wanting when it comes to this connection, is to reunite with a masculine that's a twin flame. You know, divine union. That was the very first card that presented itself. So this is where my feminines are at. Okay, so if you resonate with that, that's what's coming through. All right, guys, so let's go ahead and add to this. And let's take a look at the masculine now. So that's from the divine feminine standpoint. All right, guys, so let's pull some messages now, focusing on the divine masculine. This is the divine masculine energy oracle cards deck by Flames of Alchemy. All right. Angels and spirit guides for Gemini, focusing on the divine masculine. How does the divine masculine see the connection? How are they affected by what's going on here? Temptation, yeah. Tempted, I can't even speak. Tempted by outside influences, somebody else aside from his feminine. I do pick up third parties from that. someone else aside from the feminine who's trying to grab this masculine's attention. But the interesting thing is, look at this next card. We have friendship. You know, at the end of the day, I feel my masculines may have been tempted by someone else, but realize that all this could turn into would be friendship because he's in love with the divine feminine. That's a part of his awakening, you see? And if I've got a feminine who's pissed off and robotic, maybe that's why my masculines are coming through feeling defeated. Look at this. We have innocent. So it could appear to some of my feminines that there was infidelity going on, or you had your suspicions that that was going on. And for some of you, it was going on. But I'm feeling for this particular storyline that's presenting itself here for the divine masculine, you know, he may have put his foot down and realized it's like, I'm not interested in this person in that way. I just want to be friends, because he's in love with the divine feminine here. So he may have been accused of cheating or doing something shady, but he's actually coming through that he's innocent. And if the feminine is not believing the masculine, maybe that's why he's feeling defeated. It's like, well, I tried, but you know, there's only so much I could do. So he's feeling defeated. He might also be drinking a little bit too much. We have faith followed by breakthrough. So I really feel here for my divine masculine, they're just trying to hold on to the faith that this can still ultimately work itself out. This breakthrough tapped into in conjunction with this awakening card for me is a realization that my divine masculine has finally come to. And part of that realization is knowing what it is that he wants when it comes to this connection, this relationship. And he wants the divine feminine. That's what I'm picking up from that. So let's add to this with some tarot. This is my friend Amy's deck, the Pining Rose Tarot by Calico Moon. Okay, so let's see where the masculine is at when it comes to this connection with the feminine. Angels and spirit guides for Gemini, focusing on the divine masculine here. How is all this affecting them? The Ace of Swords, look at that. There's that breakthrough right there. Very similar energy. Mental clarity, new ideas, cutting things out. It's falling right below temptation. So I really feel, Gemini, if you happen to be masculine, Gemini, then you cut this person out because you decided what was important to you. The divine feminine is important to you. You're in love with the divine feminine. So that's a part of this awakening and breakthrough. That's the Ace of Swords right there. That's your own energy as well. We have the Hangman. Pause, letting go, spiritual awakening, new perspective. So I really feel here when it comes to what could have possibly turned into a third-party situation, my divine masculine put a stop to it and is letting go of this temptation, whatever it represents. Having gone through this spiritual awakening, and we have this awakening card here already, so it really complements it. Just trying to see things from a very different point of view, that new perspective that's coming forward from that Hangman energy. So my divine masculines are definitely working on releasing what is no longer serving a purpose in their life, trying to make room to receive better. And that includes a potential reconciliation with the feminine. My masculines are ready to heal and to leave the past behind. working on resolving his problems and issues tied into this situation that might have really caused some problems in his relationship with the feminine. This is the next card, which is so interesting. So, Seven of Swords represents betrayal, cheating, getting away with something, and deception. Now, certainly that's possible for some of you that resonate with this, that you did have a masculine who cheated on you, who betrayed you, who hurt you, who broke your heart. Certainly, because it's presenting itself here. But I'm also feeling that there are those of you who might have been accused of cheating and you actually weren't, that you are innocent. We have the Page of Wands. Fire. Leo, Aries, Sagittarius, a free-spirited young person, inspirations, creative ideas is what this card represents. This could certainly represent the energies of the divine masculine here. And also, if there is a bit of an age gap here between the masculine and the feminine, perhaps my masculines need to mature just a little bit more to be able to handle this situation with the feminine. Or just trying to come up with some creative ways on how he can win back his feminine, how he can convince her that what she thought wasn't actually what was going on. We have the Three of Pentacles. This is all about teamwork and collaboration. So my masculine still wants to work together with the feminine to work on this partnership, to bring it back together. We have the Two of Wands right after that. Decisions, discovery, goals, and progress. So, you know, it's interesting because the feminines ended up getting the Lover's card, which is a decision that needs to be made when it comes to a love connection. And my masculines know that a decision has to be made as well. And this came through with the feminines as well, with that Two of Wands. That came through for both of you. So you both know, you're both interested in each other, and you both possess skills to make each other's dream come true. And I really feel here my masculines are wanting to work with the feminine to make this happen. And then we have the Seven of Cups. So what I'm picking up here, because this is tapped into fantasies, choices, opportunities, and illusion. So temptations, a Seven of Cups, it's all tapped into that same energy. So there are some of my masculines who did engage in that type of activity with somebody else. But I really do feel that there are some of you guys that are tapped into the energy of somebody who was accused of doing something that they actually did not do, that they're innocent, that they didn't betray the feminine, that they didn't cheat on the feminine. And they just need to have the opportunity to explain themselves and just set the record straight. It's like, I know I had options in love and romance, but, you know, I didn't actually cross the line. I didn't do anything wrong. And of course, there are those masculines who did do something wrong by way of betrayals and deception. My feminines knowing that, of course. But part of this awakening and this breakthrough and the Ace of Swords is my masculines coming to the point where they realize if they want to be able to build a meaningful relationship with the feminine, they're going to have to cut this out. They're going to have to cut it out. End of story. Okay, So let's add to this. This is the Masculine's Madness deck by Bridget Rao of Divine Essentials. So let's add to this. Still focusing on the Divine Masculine here. What else? What else needs to come through here? What else? Determined. I'm fighting so hard to become a better man. I love that. The next card, I finally see. Shadow work, breakthrough, awakening. Shadow work is healing, and the masculine knows this. He knows that he has to do this shadow work in order to be able to do whatever work he needs to on himself so he can come towards the divine feminine as a better person. Healing any toxic behaviors, emotional wounding. If my masculines tend to self-sabotage their progress in their life, certainly in their relationships, he now knows he's got some work to do, and he's fighting hard to become a better person. But look at this. This is confirmation that they've definitely had some temptations from other people. You are so tempting, temptress. So no doubt about it, they were presented with choices. Tempted by other people is what's coming through here. But at the end of the day, look at this next card. I will choose comfort. You feel like home. At the end of the day, Gemini, for my masculines, they want to go back to what makes them feel comfortable, secure, at home, and loved. And that's with the divine feminine. That is with the feminine. Let's see what else. I'm sick of pretending to be someone I'm not, wearing a mask. Okay, so some of my masculines were wearing this mask. Maybe when it came to this temptation, they could have been pretending to be something that they weren't. But that gets to be very exhausting. Being deceptive is exhausting. You know, so I do feel that again is a part of the breakthrough and awakening journey that this masculine has gone through. Realizing it's like, I'm so tired of being this particular way that they know they've got some shadow work that they need to do. Fighting hard to become a better man. We also have confusion coming forward from my masculines. What am I running from? You know, so some of my masculines might have been afraid to commit also. So they were running away from a good, loving relationship that wanted to go to the next level, but maybe they weren't ready for that. But times have changed. There has been a breakthrough here. There has been a shift in the energy. And this breakthrough gets rid of that confusion. This awakening clears out this confusion when it comes to the masculine, I feel. It's one of those things where he just needed to go through that journey to figure things out for himself. And if he's not there yet, he will be. Excuse me. He will be. Okay, so I wanted to add some additional messages here. This is by Sister Moon Tarot, Romantic Confessions from the Divine Masculine. So let's add to this. What does the masculine want to say to his divine feminine? So yes, he's had options. Yes, he's been tempted. There are those who actually betrayed the feminine, and there are those who are accused of betraying the feminine. It really depends on how it played out in your own situation. But I do feel here, for the most part, my masculines are really working on themselves, knowing that they've got shadow work that they need to do on themselves. And for those of you who actually live together, shared a home together, they want to come home. They want to come back. What else, please? From the masculine to the feminine. I am always looking for you in everyone I meet. Okay? Options, temptations. They tried to find what you guys had together in other people. They couldn't find it. Look at this next card. So this is for those of you where there was cheating and deception, third parties and infidelities. Sometimes when I'm with her, I find myself wishing I was with you. Next message. I miss laying in bed with you. And you know, that doesn't always have to result in sex. It's just being together, being in each other's arms, being in each other's company, loving each other, those intimate moments. We'll grab a couple more. I always admired your beauty. So still having a lot of admiration for the feminine, and certainly very attracted to her still. I've tried to detach from you, but I can't. And last one. Trust the signs, because it is me sending you these signs, okay? These are all coming forward from the masculine to the feminine. Wow. I wanted to also grab some additional dialogue to add to this. All right, so this is my self-created deck. It's called the Thinking Man Oracle. So let's add to this with some additional dialogue from the masculine to the feminine here, Gemini. Angels and spirit guides, please. From the masculine to the feminine. What is it that the masculine needs to say to the feminine? Oh my God. I've been fighting the need to do my shadow work since you said goodbye. You were my light. I'm tired of living in the dark. I'm sick of pretending to be someone I'm not, wearing a mask. I finally see shadow work. That's crazy. This is the next card. You're my everything. Why couldn't I tell you this while I had you in my life? Last one. When it comes to you and I, those intimate moments are so much more than just two bodies having sex, moving in unison. I want to make love to you again. So the desire, the passion for those intimate moments from the masculine to the feminine, the desire is still there. It's still there. All right, so let's add to this with some romance. Angels. Angels and spirit guides, focusing on Gemini, divine masculine. When it comes to this connection with the feminine. Angels and spirit guides from the divine masculine. They're trying to stay optimistic. Stay optimistic about your love life. Positive thinking and faith will bring you romance. So there's this need from both sides to have faith that if this is meant to work itself out, it will. There's also this very flirtatious energy from the masculine. Extend your lighthearted energy to others. And I really feel here, as long as you guys work together, this is a connection that can come back. There's also this past life connection between the two of you. You have known each other before. Where's that message? I've tried to detach from you, but I can't. That's because you guys have so much history together, not just in this lifetime, but in previous lifetimes. Wow. So that's what's presenting itself here when it comes to the masculine and how he's feeling, his interpretation of the connection. So at the end of the day, what the masculine is wanting is to collaborate with the feminine, to work as a team, to save the relationship, to work on the partnership. And he's also working on himself in the meantime. He was afraid to do the shadow work before, but he sees clearly now. He's had a breakthrough. He's going through his awakening and realizing what needs to be done here in order to bring this relationship back, to work on the partnership. All right, so let's close this out with the Journey of Love deck. This is another deck by Bridget Rao of Divine Essentials. All right, some final messages to tie this all together. And as always, take whichever one you're most guided towards. Angels and spirit guides for Gemini for this love reading, for this bonus reading. When it comes to this journey of love between the two of you, we have the number 13. I wish, fresh start. There's this wish to start over, which did come through in this reading. We also have synchronicities that are presenting itself. Number 37, which is 10, completion, reminded of you constantly. And I did pick that up from the masculine too, you know. They tried to detach, but they can't. There's this past life connection. Yeah. You know, you guys might even be seeing particular signs that remind you of each other. The next card, I'm so cold without you, warmth. Number 12. Last card, partnership, number 2. It's always been you. It's always been you. You know, so what I'm feeling here is that from the masculine, some of my masculines could have entered into third-party situations. That's a reality for some of you. But also realizing it wasn't all it was cracked up to be. That what they were trying to find in other people wasn't there. Because it was with the divine feminine. And maybe you guys had to go through something difficult in order for that realization, that breakthrough, that awakening to happen. So now we have a fresh start that's possible. As long as, again, you guys work together. The love is still here. The desire is still here. This can come back. This is a connection that can come back together. All right, guys, so that's where I'm going to leave this bonus reading, Gemini. Lots to take in here. So whether you were watching for a feminine or a masculine, hopefully it resonated. And if you are interested in your own personal private reading, all of that info is down below in the description box. And I'll see you guys real soon. Take care. Bye-bye.